Good morning, Magic. It's Friday, April 17th, 2020. Happy Friday, everyone. You made it. And that means it's time for me to go through a Q&A of all the things that were asked this week that my other guests didn't get to. So let's hop right into it. Please tell me all about the cycling big red turtle. Udara was designed by Corey Bowen, who led the design of Commander for this year as well. The idea was it was a creature that was kind of wandering around and eventually found its way onto the battlefield and had this kind of cool cycling gimmick. Its playtest name was one of my favorites. It was Ops the Cyclops, so that when you cycled it, you had to say Cyclops the Cyclops. Were panoramas ever considered for the set? Maybe very early on in the set's design, but for the majority of its development, no, we didn't consider them. In general, we feel like the panoramas are a little too weak for limited mana fixing, which is what we really wanted them for. So they're not really in contention for a mainline set, although on the flip side, I know a lot of Commander players have asked for them, so who knows, maybe someday. Was Monstrous ever considered for this set? It feels like a perfect flavor match. Yes, actually, good call out. Monstrous was considered many times. We talked about it a lot. It did not end up making it through, of course, but you do still find one nod to it in the Commander decks. There's a new card in Commander 2020 with Monstrous. Why Ultimatums in Ikoria and not more fuse cards or a cycle of boons or a cycle of something else? So when Shards of Alara came out all those years ago, we did the original Ultimatums, which were super memorable cards, and especially Cruel Ultimatum. That's like many people's favorite card of all time. And so when we did Cons of Tarkir, we thought about Ultimatums, but ultimately decided to not include them for a handful of reasons. And the fans asked, hey, why weren't there ultimatums here? We want to have these wedge ultimatums. And so when we came back and did it again this time in Ikoria, did wedge again, we thought, okay, what are some cycles we could tap into? And ultimatums were an immediate choice. Shark, Brushwag, and more. Was there a conscious effort to ensure mini-fun creature types? So, we saw the early concept art and all the wild creatures that were being shown there, and Dave Humphrey started writing them onto cards, and we didn't really know if they were going to stick, but people just absolutely loved them. I remember the first time they saw the otter, the common otter that draws you a card, people were just like, oh my gosh, there's an otter, I love this, you have to do this. And we just kept getting more and more wild with the weird hybrids and stuff we were writing on cards, and eventually the good majority of them made them through, except for the poor giraffe. Someday you'll get a giraffe in Magic. Someday. How many linguists have you buried in order to get away with calling the landscapes of Ikoria triomes? And that brings me to a very important public service announcement for everyone out there taking their SAT soon. Triome is not a word. Do not use it in your essays. Magic will teach you a lot of vocabulary. This is not one you want to pick up on. It's nothing that's actually out there in the world. We made it up. It'd be like writing Shivan down on your essay. Was there ever a consideration to complete the Psycho lands from Amonkhet in Ikoria over the new Tricycle lands? Great question, Emma, and one that I've been asked a lot. And we covered this a bit in Tuesday's interview with Dave Humphreys, but I wanted to circle back to it here. Amonkhet cycling lands, I know people want them. They want the other half of them for their cubes and so on. We will make those someday, I'm sure. But on the flip side, this was a really unique chance to do something that's right for the set. We needed the 3-color mana fixing for Standard and other formats. Plus, who knows, we're going to do another 3-color set that has cycling again, where the Amonkhet cycling lands can go in any set that has cycling because they're 2-color mana lands, basically. So that's why we did these ones here. I'm sure you'll get the full versions of both these cycles eventually. Why is it called Mutate and not Bestow? Where are my layers in this lair behemoths, Gavin? We can do a little better than layers these days. Also, everyone kept misspelling them as liars. Favorite emergent ultimatum stack? Okay, here's what you do. You cast Emergent Ultimatum, and you get Omniscience, you get Enter the Infinite, and you get Dark Petition. No matter which two you do, the end result is you have your entire deck in your hand, minus 1 card back on top from Enter the Infinite, and you've got 3 black mana floating. From there, you cast Ashiok Dreamrender, you play a Mox Amber for blue mana, you play another Mox Amber, getting rid of the first for another blue mana, and you cast Thassa's Oracle, and then you win the game. It's just that easy. Ram through seems like a big leap in power for a mono-green card, especially a common. How did this card come about? Right, what we called spillover damage in design. It's an idea that I think Dave has had for a while, sort of a spell with Trample, and we're trying it out here. If you like it, maybe you'll see more. Why Evolving Wilds over Terramorphic Expanse? Alright, I'm going to tell you a secret, keep it to yourself, but I'm on Team Terramorphic Expanse. I'm a big fan of the name Terramorphic Expanse. I love the card, and I'd love to see it printed just a few more times than it has already. Maybe with new art someday. I'd love for it to have new art. But even I have to admit that Evolving Wilds makes the most sense here. I mean, it's a world out there full of these huge creatures and these changing landscapes. Yeah, okay, Evolving Wilds is going to win. But Terramorphic Expanse, you will have your day. If you could pick any past set to retroactively add a Commander product to, which would it be and why? Ooh, good question. I'm going to go with Time Spiral block because I think it'd be total nonsense. It's like, okay, here's the Slivers deck. All right. Here's the Flanking deck. Okay, that makes sense. Here's the Aura Swap deck. All right, that's a thing. Oh, and then right here, we've got the all color shifted deck. Totally bananas. I would love to see that. Well, everyone, that brings us to the end of this test run week of Good Morning Magic. I really appreciate you all watching. It means a lot. I know I had a lot of fun making these videos, and I'd love to hear now what you think about the series. So please go ahead and leave a comment below or send a tweet at me with what'd you like? What would you love to see changed? Would you want to see these come back again? That would be awesome to know as we look and see if we're going to do more of these in the future. Who knows? In the meantime, though, this is Gavin Verhey signing off. Good luck, have fun, and enjoy Ikoria. You got this.